I keep hearing before even opening up this message, which is why I know we need to start this. I'm hearing intervention. There's some kind of intervention happening in your life right now. But you know, an intervention, okay, we're going to use that as a keyword before we even flow into this message, because I've anchored in a really important message from the astral to relay to you. So thank you for this well-aligned collision. Anyway, an intervention, I'm seeing it as like your guides and loads of other celestial beings in a room, and they're like, okay, listen, this is how we need to move things moving forward. I kept seeing an influx and also an inbox flooding. So a lot that's being sent your way, a lot of invitations, opportunities, doors that are going to be opening. Super, super, super auspicious. And the other message was like incremental steps right now that you're taking into the timeline that you desire, and how your current frequency is bending reality. And I keep seeing it as a natural frequency that is reoccurring. It's something that you keep re-establishing, or some kind of internal establishment, if you will, like an architecture, a place that you keep returning to as you move through life. Anyway, let me go ahead and get that keyword up of intervention before we begin. Intervention. Intervention generally means an action taken to step into a situation and alter its direction, outcome, or pattern. No longer sleeping on an opportunity, no longer sleeping. Sorry guys, I need to just turn down the heat right now because it's really hot. Again, things are heating up. It could be someone stepping in to help, disrupting some type of harmful cycle, influencing the course of events. So it reminds you of fate kind of coming in to intervene when it feels like you're not working as proactively as you could be towards your soul's initial intentions before incarnation. And I'm seeing it as dharma, like the rapid unfoldment of one's path when they begin to consciously work with the world that they have immersed themselves in and created for the full immersive experience. I'm seeing it as full immersive experience, where there was a lot that you were previously, all right, this is all part of the astral travel message. Anyway, focused on, and now your focus is like being redirected or rechanneled. So I'm seeing a momentum shift or swing. I'm seeing swinging, like you've just done a pendulum swing in many ways, and you're learning how to bring anchoring both worlds up. Oh my god, even my SD card is writing slow right now. It's just again, a lot of speeding up. Could be some kind of divine guidance, synchronicities that are also redirecting your timeline, or just sudden awakenings or calls that are happening. Maybe archetypal patterns that you're transcending, octaves that you're moving beyond it as you integrate them. Some type of present awareness or doorway that opens for you. Reevaluation, revelation, alignment, or interruptions. Now, let me go ahead and get up this astral travel message. So what I saw was the first scene, and it sounds funny, but it's symbolic, and I'm going to go ahead and decode it for you. What I saw was a nut, and this person had cracked open this nut, right? And inside of the nut, a monkey emerged, and it felt symbolic because it was something that was previously small, or it was sealed or structured or maybe designed, but there was something alive inside of it the entire time, but nobody knew until their physical visible eyes actually saw it. They had no clue what was inside of this seed, and I'm seeing it as you as that seed, like seeded onto this planet, right? Hence star seed, and something emerging from you, right? The environmental conditions of the earth are created in such a way that are favorable for something emerging from you. Okay, I'm hearing the conditions. They're showing me one card in my Cosmos Oracle message, and I believe it's the Strophosphere card, and it talks about your seed has fallen onto fertile soil. So enjoy the fertile sowing of conditions that are happening, because things are about to grow rapidly. Okay, anyway, the monkey that emerges, I feel, is some kind of instinct or adaptability. Monkeys in the astral realm also represent just curiosity, or this primal intelligence, an aspect of you that is pretty much untamed, where consciousness is breaking through some type of previous conditioning. So I'm also seeing it as you breaking free from the shell of whom it is that you've been, and an entirely new experience that people are having in your vicinity, because there is no point of reference. They've known you as this seed, but now they're seeing the thing that's emerging from you or witnessing it. So it feels like it's revealing something beneath, right? Like a shell or a persona or programming, where a more alive, expansive, and expressive or playful self is evolving, or at least is trying to during this time. Now, the second scene I saw was you in the astral. You're gonna know who you are. This is gonna be someone specific. And anyway, you were there and you were witnessing the growth that was taking place of this monkey coming out of the seed. Somebody essentially witnessing their own human journey from the perspective of the soul and coming into this awakening. The last scene I saw was a theme that you were no longer staying engineered in who you were, and you were going to expand into new ways of being. So I'm seeing this as like your identity becoming more fluid and alive and just responsive and creative, and also soul-led expression that's flowing from you during this time, rather than being controlled by this old conditioning. And the last message I said is that it took time for that coming together, and you could walk into the timeline that you desired. So something to do with your natural frequency and returning back to that natural frequency of just creating for creation's sake and not creating based upon how you're going to be perceived. Let's go ahead and do a message for this. I want to take a look at the cracking up of the shell. We have tidal force. So tidal force is much like this, right? Tidal force is essentially these deep currents that run underneath the water, and on the surface we just see these waves, but we don't see the powerful essence that is below. It also talks about the conscious and the unconscious mind, how the tidal force moves in the direction that the moon or the unconscious or the soul, the feminine, calls it towards. So I'm seeing it as gravitational pull, where people are gravitating towards you because the soul is reflecting, right, the sun, which is the waking, it's the conscious, the material realm. It's reflecting through the human something that is pulling at many heartstrings, right? It's kind of like pulling you on a soul level into something that you resonate with. I don't know, it's like the soul expressing itself through the human form. It reminds me of the assemblage point, where you begin to look like your soul in many ways. So that's what I'm seeing. Oh yeah, we have wormhole here, the base 2. So this is a shortcut. This is a collapsing of events where you begin, I'm seeing navigating space-time by the essence that transcends it. Make sense? You begin navigating space-time by an essence or level of awareness that extends and branches and originates far beyond this system that you're immersed in. Therefore, you become less dense in the medium that you're in, and your sense of buoyancy, you end up becoming a lifeline. I'm also seeing people are going to utilize you or something that leaves a mark in the historical timeline that ends up becoming a point of reference and potentially a lifeline. You could be a huge source of inspiration. Something that culminates from you could end up becoming like a huge source. I'm just seeing as a wellspring of some kind that people can return to. For example, it reminds me of somebody like an artist that creates music, and somebody is listening to this music during a certain transitional theme in their life, right, where they're going through some type of phase or stage. And that artist is someone that really, really helps them in elevating their vibration, or just being able to be seen, felt, understood. Something like that, just some type of soul recognition that takes place here. So with tidal force and the shell, I'm seeing it as the collapsing of the shell leads to the emergence of new life being brought to the surface, essentially, from these deep underwater internal currents. Just take a breath. Okay, let's go and take a look at this person in the astral who is witnessing this. Optical doubles and proton. Paradoxical. Optical doubles talks about the illusion of something being really close together when in actuality it's really far apart. And then proton talks about this being a really positive thing, Proton is a positive electrical charge. It is something that is emerging from you, from the center of you, and it's very, very positive. Now, optical doubles is, I'm seeing this positive impact that happens even at a distance. So even people that are distant from you, somehow you're having a positive impact on their field through this force of creation that's flowing from you. All right, I'm happy with that. That's a good decode. Right, let's go ahead and take a look at the last scene, which was the engineering and expanding into new ways of being. I mean, this is all one of the same being. 𝓪𝓬𝓻𝓪𝓷𝓬, are you freaking kidding me? I'm gonna read this card and then we're just gonna probably leave it there. I might get a gateway of the light activation message, but man, what's going on? The energy is so auspicious today. So, protoplanetary disk talks about where planets themselves are formed. Although the nebulous material makes it difficult to achieve clarity in the here and now, something large, concrete, and solid with endless possibilities is brewing. You're standing in a giant incubator. What is an incubator? An incubator is where eggs go, right, as well. But it's where things are brought to life, where things begin to hatch and begin to emerge from this shell. This is exactly where all planetary systems and physical processes take shape to create a planet. And not just that, all this happens around a star. Okay, so I'm getting a download around all planets or organisms, conscious organisms on their own journey of evolution. But they play a huge role in the ascension of the solar system and life upon this planet. So it's like, what would happen if like the sun was shy? How ridiculous would that be? I'm scared. Shine my light. Anyway, it's well, every planet has a very specific energetic signature and a part that it plays into the journey on Earth that's inseparable from its movement within the cosmos, and how its movement in the cosmos is so intelligently designed to the point where it's just self-organizing within the system. And I'm just seeing that this is just a natural next part of your journey. Okay. Anyway, there's nothing that you need to do or nothing that you need to worry about. If lack of clarity caused by the nebula brings anxiety or confusion, remember to pay attention to at the sky. Sometimes it decides to get the clouds to float across in order to plot certain things together with the sun. You know what the funny thing is? It says everything is on the path, just enjoy the journey, and know that the sun can be found in the meeting. Even if clouds are floating before it, doesn't mean that the sun isn't there. Tidal force is like, you don't even need to know how to swim, right? The moment that you become buoyant is the moment that you just stop resisting and you just allow yourself to float. And you realize that you, within you, have a flotation device that allows you to navigate these next waves of change. And it's like having an anchor that keeps you beneath the surface. And that's what your belief systems have kind of done, all the conditioning. But who are you without your conditioning, truly? And now that you remember yourself, what does that look like moving forward? I don't know. Just something beautiful is emerging from you. I'm going to get one gateway with a light activation message. And guess what? It doesn't stem from just this life, honey. Our star chakra is Isis energy. It talks about gifts that you're recovering from past lives, anchoring, grounding, grounded action, Isis energy. And then you also have memories of Atlantis here at the base. It's an excavation, right? It's an excavation that keeps you anchored, grounded. There's something around the grid of the earth being even more anchored in your body now than ever, bringing safety into the body amongst this expansion. It's a gateway to the underworld of the earth, and it's a sacred, it's full of sacred magic, mystery, and where we'll find a lot of tools, gifts, and skills that the ancients used to connect with the earth and her wisdom. It's a high priestess energy, anchored down by going deep within to find any parts of your magic, wisdom, and experiences that have been pushed down, both in this incarnation and previous lifetimes. These tools could be helpful for the next phase of your journey. And so, the anchor was necessary for it. It gave you a it gave you insight, right? If you think about kind of diving and having this huge ankle, this huge rope or guideline, it provided you the guideline for what those ancestral fears were, where fear wasn't just something that you observed as pattern recognition within your family, it was something that you experienced firsthand. And in being able to understand where your deepest fears are, it shows you where your work is in this lifetime, and how on the other side of those fears lies your freedom. And the fear of anything holding you back was always your greatest illusion. You draw this card because your Astral chakra has been activated. The wisdom that you once ignored is now being acknowledged. Rediscover the magic within you and stay firmly rooted in all of your endeavors. Let the earth hold and sustain you. Don't rush ahead. So great wisdom lies within you. There's a lot that's going to be uncovered. There's a lot of impact in which you're here to have. Now, we externalize. Again, it's a holographic construct, right? That you're existing in. And so we say external earth and new earth, but really the new earth is within you, because it's as within, so without. And so welcome back. Now you're going to embody and reflect and mirror what that looks like as you move through the world. And yeah, there's going to be contrast, but stand strong in it and hold space for the paradox, for two truths coexisting simultaneously, even within you. Expansion and fear can both coexist. Excitement and fear can both coexist. So you can be confident and insecure simultaneously. That's the paradox. So I'm leaving right there. That's all you gotta know. Okay. So if you're not already subscribed to the channel, do consider subscribing. We'd love to have you around. Personal reading details are also down below. Also check out Otter Spirit if you're looking for some high quality AAA grade gemstones. Today I'm wearing a very strong throat chakra energy. So aquamarine could be significant for you. You may want to gaze into her gaze. Okay. Blending your most multidimensional otherworldly aspects and anchoring that into the grid of this planet. Some kind of light changeable wave that's occurring within you. Protoplanetary disk. What is going to be flowing from you, my love? Let me know.
Clouds in the sky. Don't care if I stay all day. Dreaming of time when you and I would